Hello, everyone. It's Graham Cofe with another My Music. Now, in a minute, I shall be speaking to the Crumble Lady herself, Lorraine Bowen. Over the weekend, I did indeed make a crumble. I always leave them in the oven slightly too long, Lorraine, and then you get the juices going everywhere, and then that burns, and then the whole house fills with smoke. Maybe you can give me some tips. But first, we will have a quick video from Analog Trash. Our sponsors, please do check their website out and support independent musicians. Thank you.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
The wide-eyed and bushy-tailed amongst all of us will have noticed that in the middle of that video, there was someone wearing a t-shirt that said, "Failure is inevitable." But I'm sat here with a lady who didn't fail. She indeed got the golden buzzer. How are you, Lorraine?
Hello everyone, my name's Lorraine Bowen, and yes, I'm kind of like a crumble lady stroke musician stroke person, performer, whatever.
Stroke musician, stroke performer. I think first and foremost, we are all human beings first, are we not? And then
We
everything
are,
else.
vaguely. I don't know whether I am one or I don't know.
Okay.
I feel a bit alien at times, I really do.
I just think you have an enormous sense of fun. Is that not fair to say?
Yes, well I do, yes, I am a free spirit, a Peter Pan in this world of convention and conservatism.
Let's talk about your creativity, because your creativity is immense. So, have you always been so creative right from a young age? Did you always get out of bed with, or even before you got out of bed, did you go to bed at night and the brain was ticking all night with creative ideas? Have you always been like that?
It's really interesting you say that. I think I've always been a very positive person. I think when I was very young, I grew up in such a small village and I didn't understand anything about anything. And that's a huge subject in itself, isn't it? To be very bored as a young person, incredibly bored, more than anyone could be bored, because my mother always said, "Don't read anyone else's books because that's other people's ideas."
Really?
Yeah. So we only had one book in the house, which was the Encyclopedia Children's Britannica A, and that was because the man came round to try and sell us the.
And left you A.
He left me A, and he never came back. I don't know why he never came back to get it. So I knew a lot about anteaters and Africa and things like that, but I didn't know anything about anything else. So yeah, so that's my early childhood, and yes, growing up with a small mono Philips tape recorder, which was the most exciting thing in the world, because you could play the recorder, record into it, play it back, and then create a duet.
I know.
It was so exciting. I can't tell you how exciting that was.
There's a whole generation that have missed out on all of these pleasures. I mean, I remember having, I think it was a second-hand set of encyclopedias that my mum had managed to get hold of. And it just seems alien now because we just Google everything.
Yeah.
Everything, or Wikipedia, everything. But these things were magnificent. You literally, this visceral thing that you take to bed with you and kind of read at night. And I loved that. I was, I couldn't get enough of encyclopedias. There was always some weird fact in there that had no relation to any other fact in the world that you just then clinged on to, and then you would share that with people at school the next day. But the tape player thing as well. What I used to do, Lorraine, is I used to tape the top 40, and I know loads of people did this.
Everyone did that.
Tape the top 40 at the weekend, and then I used to actually take out the DJ and then pretend that I was the DJ and do the DJ bits in between.
Everyone did it. Everyone did it. So it was just a huge, big title saying a certain age of people. And I hate talking about age really because I've got a lot of young fans and they don't see me as an old person. I don't like to be seen, but I have got a lot of history. I think that's the history, and I think the history is of appreciation, and it'd be interesting to see how much people appreciate what they've got, because they've got a lot and they don't realize what they've got, I suppose, by having information at the touch of a thumb. And I really appreciate things, and I think it's because I had nothing. I was born in a caravan, and just had my one book of the Anteaters, and a mono Philips tape recorder, and we could never afford the proper records of the proper artists. We always had to have the nuns chorus singing Sound of Music and then things. So that's all alien. I think it makes you to a very quirky person though when you have grown up like that.
I was talking to another artist about that the other day, and they were young artists, so they'd never have heard of this, but we used to line up in Woolworths, and whilst you were waiting to buy the single of the band that you wanted to get to number one that week, there was a bucket quite often in the queue, and it had tapes in it, and it was cover versions of different songs that were in the charts, and that was the affordable way of buying all of those different songs. And some of those versions were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. I can remember really bad versions of like Brotherhood of Man and ABBA, and it's absolutely dreadful stuff.
Anyway, that's the old days. So let's get to the new days, please. Yeah. Please, let's get to the new days.
What? Okay, the new days. Well, to me, it's all the same, because you carry with you all of this great stuff that comes from your past and into the present. And to me, it's just about creativity, right? So let's just talk about that creativity. What is it now that drives you to create?
For example, this.
Yeah.
This was my desk exercise. So
which is very necessary.
It's very necessary, right? So I have always written songs. So my uncle Peter is a banjo player. He was a massive person in my growing up, and he was on Opportunity Knocks in 1979, I think, and he came second. Wow. I think it was fixed even in those days. Well, let's not say anything anymore. And with his original song "Russian Knickers," which absolutely it's a fantastic banjo hit, not available online, unfortunately. I need to put it online. So I've just always written songs. I've got 7 albums and tons of singles. Is this a single? I think it is. Yeah. So I was sitting at my desk and thought, I'm a bit
stiff.
I need to get a bit stiff. Let's see what's online that I can just do for 2 minutes, just something to kind of get me going a bit more. And there wasn't really anything. It was just a few do this and do that. So so it took me about 4 months, but I wrote desk exercise. It's not just writing the song, is it? It's getting it produced, it's getting all the lyrics properly, it's getting the structure absolutely brilliant. I got all the exercises upheld by a woman who works for the NHS, and so that was really good. Yeah, so desk exercise. Yeah, so that's just one example of many things that I'm always working on. I've got a whole album of Christmas songs I haven't written, actually. Yeah, I write the titles first of the albums and then fill it in slowly, but it's taken a bit too long.
Do you know what? I didn't realise we had just so much in common. I actually do another show on a Friday every week called Wow Ergonomics. They've been doing it for about 3 years, and we talk about things like doing exercises at your desk.
Oh, really? You must do desk exercise, because it just hasn't taken off, because I wrote it, put it out in the January 2020, and was planning to go around loads of offices. I have got a few offices online that I've been to.
Well, I've got a great idea for you. I think we can really push desk exercise, right? Because last Friday on WoW, we actually had there's a first road show at a massive, it was actually, the first one was at a massive place in Manchester. It's a showroom in Manchester. It was a lot of different people from the sector coming together to kind of celebrate good ergonomics and all of these well-being things. I think what we should do is when they have another one of those, where are you based, Lorraine?
In the south coast of England.
In the south coast?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty close to the south coast, but it depends whether you mean southwest or southeast. But I think let's find when they're going near you, and we should get you along. You could take part.
Yeah, I think desk exercise needs a second wind. Well, it didn't even have a first wind really. So let's get it going. It basically, I shout out the exercises and you keep going. And it's I think it's 2 minutes. And by the end of it, you go, let's get, and it even says at the end, go back to work.
Oh. But again, there's such great history in that. I don't mean to bring it back to history, but there's great history in that. My mum used to do the Angela Rippon one.
Oh, I've got that.
When I used to join in when I was kidding. Then it was the Green Goddess. Remember the Green Goddess?
I've got then all exercise records. Yeah.
And then Mr. Motivator. Bless him, who's still going today, which is fantastic.
The one that really inspired me, which you won't have heard, because I used to go to jumble sales when I was 16 and pick up all this absolute crazy records that they probably only made 100 of. It's called "Stay a Girl," and it's from 1967. Stay a girl, and the woman. There's a book as well, which I found. I couldn't even believe it when I found the book, because the woman who does it, she goes on. Well, she went on beautiful holiday adventures to the Normandy coast, and while staying a girl, she just walks along the beach. Then she has mussels in cream with cognac, and then goes for another walk on the beach. And she just stays a girl doing that. I love it. I love the kind of the fact that there's just no science involved. It's just what you enjoy,
That's really important, though. That is really important, because the thing is with anything, if you're changing people's behaviours, right? I'm going to get deep for a minute, but if you're changing people's behaviours, if you're encouraging them to do something positive or just get out of a mindset that they previously were in, etc., then they have to adopt it. They have to adopt that behaviour, and if you can't actually resonate with it, then it's not going to happen. Is that kind of an important thing for you, that actually you're bringing joy into people's lives?
Yeah, joy. Three letters. Joy is a huge thing for me. I suppose the word joy changes as you get older. When you're younger, I think I just found joy, and I learned quite quickly, I think, that I had to negate stuff that wasn't joyous. And I had a bit of an episode in my life where I had to go and see someone to learn how to say no to someone. And it was the most important thing I ever learned. They did role playing with me. And then when I actually confronted the person that was really pissing me off, am I allowed to say that? I don't know.
Well, you just did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So when I actually confronted that person, they did exactly the same as the woman who taught me in the role play. So she said, they're going to walk away from you and you've got to call them back. And I said, well, I couldn't do that. And of course, another packet of tissues and all the rest of it, but they did it, and it happened in real life. And then I got over this massive thing, and I just think it was the most brilliant thing. And then after that, your life goes in these massive chapters. I was able to say no to a lot of things and be very much more super confident in life about what I want to do. And I don't want to get mucked around by people that don't bring that sense of fun and joy into my life as well. I'm very positive. I'll give anyone the time of the day, and I'm constantly helping people and inspiring people and all the rest of it. But I kind of would like a little bit back, So I'm just saying that.
I never want to dwell on people's kind of big TV moment, but this is a good time to talk about that, because I think one of the reasons the nation went with you, and so did David at the time when you did your song, and Simon was sitting there going whatever, making those awful faces that Simon does, is because you inspired. Yeah, I think you genuinely inspired, and you genuinely brought out that sense of joy.
Thank you ever so much. It was an incredibly difficult time. You have no idea when you go on that stage or when you put yourself through something on reality TV, how or what you are doing. You have no idea. And I just thought, guess what? I'm at an age where I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm just going to go in there. I've got nothing to lose. I'd been doing some gigs that were kind of netting me about £25, you know, and I was just thinking, things just can't get any worse than this. You know, I put in 5 months of work for a show in Brighton. 20 people came. I made 20 quid, and I just thought, oh, this is the pits. They got in touch with me, and I just thought, let's go for it. Let's do something. And it wasn't for me. It was for my song, because I thought my songs are my little babies, really. And I thought, if this song could get onto ITV on a Saturday night at mainstream TV, what would happen? Even if it was just a chorus, could it have any effect at all? You know. So I went in for it, and the rest is history, I suppose. But it was really hard, and of course, what you see is not what actually happened, kind of, because the first question that Simon Cowell asked me on stage was, I sat there, stood there on the cross. It's like this massive cross.
Yeah.
And they're really a long way away. You feel as if you're in the headmaster's office in Alice in Wonderland or something. And he said, Lorraine, hello, have you got any children? Now, I don't know if anyone here has been through improvisation classes or any kind of classes, but what you don't say to 2,500 people on your first entry on the stage is no. So that was the immediate thing. And I just thought, well, they would never have asked a man that. So I was a bit pissed off, really. And they wouldn't have asked a man that, would they?
No.
It was completely sexist, completely ridiculous. And
that's probably what I would have said, is you wouldn't have asked a man that. But there we go. That's just me.
You couldn't say that. You couldn't say that. Like, you're always, you know, you've got your
Lorraine,
personal.
That is what I would have said, though. I'm just being honest with you. You know?
Yeah, but I was scared. I was really, really scared on that stage, and I'm not a scared person, as you can tell. I've been through the mill. I am my own person, and it was quite nerve-wracking actually on there. But
how did you answer that?
I said no.
Yeah, and that just
it just silence.
That was a very weird question. I assume he was
really
asking
weird.
it.
The whole thing was very weird. It was very weird.
Yeah.
You felt as if there was another agenda there.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do in that case is just be, you know. And I was just answering everything very sensibly. When they said, "Are you with anyone?" I thought, "Oh God, I'm just here with my organ." You know, and it came across actually really funny and quite surreal.
Yeah.
And I just sang the song, and then people started getting into it, and by the end, everyone was on their chairs, and it was a fantastic moment.
I bet you loved that moment. I bet you actually loved that moment where you realised that actually, regardless of what some people were perceiving, that you know, this wasn't what they were looking for, Mr. Cowell. I don't think I thought that deep enough at the time. I just thought, you just done it. But you must have enjoyed that moment where you realised that this connected on some level with a whole group of people, and that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd only seen. The trouble is, you know, I haven't even seen a whole episode of Britain's Got Talent. I'd only seen a few little.
That's probably wise, to be honest.
So I didn't know what a golden buzzer was at all. There's all this gold going around, so I thought, I'll just whiz round with it. You know, just go with the flow. That's the
love that. Oh, I love that.
And I said, how many other people get this golden buzzer thing? this week, next week. They say, oh, it's only you per series for David Walliams.
Did David talk to you afterwards? Did you actually get to talk to David at all?
Not really, no. He's a very professional kind of person who goes around, but he did sponsor me for my sponsored swim. He sponsored me for £1,000, which was very, very generous, and it got everyone sponsoring me.
Well, he does like his swimming, doesn't he? Actually, he's a very good swimmer indeed.
And it was for a charity, so that was.
But good. Since then, you've actually created your own kind of homage to creativity itself. You've got a little album called Creative Juices.
Yes.
So how are you inspiring the nation to create?
Well, I thought I just come across a lot of people in my life that say, "Oh, I'm a songwriter." I said, "Oh, what have you written? What have you written? Play it to me." And then they say, "Oh, well, I've got kind of the songs on my computer, but I haven't quite finished them yet, and or that kind of thing." And I said, "Well, that's no good, is it? I need to, just finish one and send it to me." The thing is, I would never be even talking to you now if it hadn't have been for an incredible opportunity. I love opportunities. I just think that there are opportunities for everyone all around, but it's this thing about, do you even see them? Do you even see the person walking down the street, or make connections with people that you can slice into opportunities, and not grab opportunities, because that's a bit grabby, but just give and take and have the flow of opportunities. And when I was of a certain age, I got an amazing opportunity to perform with Billy Bragg on stage, and I did his tours at the peak of his career as his pianist and backing vocalist. And right at the end of the tour, him and his manager got me. They said, "Right, come for a little meeting with us." And they said, "We think you've got a great stage presence, and we think that you should stop being with the band you're in, and you should go solo." I mean, there was these kind of three blokes saying this round a table in East Germany at the time. I thought, oh my God, what, me, little me? Me who can't even say boo to the goose. I can only just about sing into the microphone when it's about there. I haven't got any confidence at all. And so he started me off on my career by saying, "Right, now I want you to write 6 songs for me. You've got to give them, this is like February, give them me in September. I want 6 songs, and then I will critique them and I will tell you what to do with them." Could you imagine having that opportunity? It's just amazing. It really is fantastic. And so I did that. And then he said, "Right, I like this one, this one, this one. Now go and get a gig." And he just told me what to do. And it was this very, for someone in power, it's a very simple thing to do, but it's so effective. And it's so brilliant. You're getting that little bit of time from someone and then I did it. And I thought they were serious songs. And I did my first gig and everyone started laughing. So it was a kind of it was an amazing.
We do all need those people in our lives. I mean, it's kind of partly what I do during the day. I mean, I work with other people, and I tend to gravitate towards people who are already creative. And that might seem like a bit of a kind of paradox or even an oxymoron to some people, because why would somebody that's creative need to work with a creative? But I actually think creatives need creatives more than anybody else, because what everybody needs is somebody that they can rub ideas off, get spark off, but also push them. We all need that little bit of pushing, on a regular basis. And it's one of the things I try and do differently with people, which is that a lot of people will come to me and go, "Can you just do this for me?" And I go, "No, I can't just do it for you, because then you're not part of it." Yeah. And in this modern day and age, Lorraine, I really believe what people are looking for is they are looking for this is going to sound a bit, yuck, but they are looking for that authenticity. They are looking for the real person. So you can't just write somebody else's social media. You can't just write somebody else's stuff for them and that be it. They have to be involved in that process. But what you can do is you can get alongside people and you can get them to be the best that they can ever be. And, you know, to me, I still talk about it in terms of when I was young, I was coached in tennis because I was quite good at tennis. And I constantly was made to play with people that were better than me in certain skill sets because it pushes you and it pulls you in a direction. You just think, oh, I can't do that. You can't do that. And if they continually say to you, yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Then you get that energy to go, yeah, I can. And eventually you find yourself getting that ball back. You know, you can hit back a serve that's going past 100 miles an hour and you think, wow, I've done that. But it's only because somebody else is walking alongside you and encouraging you to do that. Is that how you feel about it?
I do. I think it would be lovely if either the government or, well, I think it's the government really, kind of inspired more of that.
Andrew loves your sweater, by the way. He's
Oh,
listening. He loves your sweater.
Yeah, that's a really nice sweater, actually. I wore it on purpose so that you'd enjoy it.
It's not available in every high street store.
No, definitely not. I found it in a charity shop in Bath. There you go.
There you go.
But there isn't I don't know, is there? I'm not going to say there isn't. It's a horrible negative thing. It would be lovely if there was more aspirations for inspiration. Why can't just a few people at the top say, look, today, let's all go out and be really nice to someone and just give them some love and some inspiration and make someone's world change, you know? I mean, how easy would that be? How easy would that be?
Yeah. Well, I think we're beginning to see it. I think we're having to begin to see it, and I never want to dwell a lot on what's happened over the last few years, but I think since COVID, I think so many people have had a mindset shift because we realised how fragile life is, and we realised that actually you only get one of these, and it's you know, like you were saying earlier. How many people out there have started doing this or started doing that and then put it away? Probably for really good reasons. I've had a family that, you know, I've got a mortgage to pay, this, that, and the other. So I'm going to put away those aspects of my life, which are maybe a little bit more risky or whatever, you know, and I'm just going to play it safe. But do you really want to get to like retirement age and be like, I never did any of it. It's just, you know, and I think people realise that. I think COVID did shift that, and we saw a lot more people actually beginning to pick up guitars or, you know, get the Casio keyboard back out again and start writing. I've spoken to some people on here that literally went, right, I'm stopping my career, I'm stopping what I was doing. I'm not making any money, but I'm starting writing songs again. I just realised, my God, what have I done with my life, etc. And that's been brilliant. You know, I've really enjoyed talking to those people that have like just had this epiphany over the last few years. Oh God, I've just got to do this, because otherwise I'm going to look back and I'm going to be mad. So, is this album of yours? Do you feel like this is the sort of A to Z guide for any of those people to like?
Well, it's all a bit of fun, but the fact is, the big song on the album, it's called Creative Juices, and there's just about 6 songs or something. And I just thought it was a bit of fun to write something that was useful. Oh, it's a dog, not me. Yeah, so very useful. So what the big thing is, write things down, make a list. You know, the first thing, write a list. You know, how many scribble pads have I got down here? But I'm constantly writing lists. And then what I do, I love crossing the list off. There's a weekly planner, which hasn't got very much on at the moment. Haircut, 11:30. Well, that's not going to do much, is it? In my creative life. But then sometimes I even write down, even when I've done something I didn't write on the list, I write it on the list and then cross it out, just so that then I thought, I did that. It was something I did today. I did it. I crossed it off. And it's brilliant, you know. And there's long-term lists, there's short-term lists. But I think lists are the only way of getting things done. And then so that's write things down, make a list, get things down on pen and paper, write things down, make a list, jot things down, it's now or never. So
love that.
We are human, we are stupid. So yeah, so that's the write things down. Then it's how to write a song. I've even got a song on how to write a song, which is absolute genius. I think it took me ages to write that. And so in the verse, it's telling you how to write a verse. The chorus, the chorus. Get your lighters out, sing along. It's the chorus. That kind of thing. And then we've got things on. It's okay to make mistakes. To make mistakes, it's ace, it's great, because that's the way we learn to know what works and what has to go.
Oh my word, it's fantastic. Do you know what, Lorraine? You should definitely be on LinkedIn. I don't know whether you are already.
I am on LinkedIn, but I am.
Oh, you are on LinkedIn. But are you one of these?
I think it's about. Do you know, I was looking at LinkedIn the other day and thinking, what am I wasting my time on blinking Facebook for? You know, It's much better LinkedIn. It's actually got professionals there.
Absolutely. And that happens. I happen to be, you know, someone that's fairly prolific on LinkedIn. I think I've got about 22,000 followers now. We'll get you some more. Next door's dog gone off, and so mine has. Come here. You got to come and say hello to Lorraine. No, oh, you're going to get in your cage then. Okay. But yeah, I think we need more people like you on LinkedIn as well, because that is, if nothing else, that's great business advice as well. Have you thought about that? That's absolutely fantastic business advice.
Useless at business, absolutely useless.
No, well, you're not though. That's the thing. I mean, that is. that kind of advice is exactly what people need to hear, and actually you will do it in a way that really resonates with people. I'm gonna pick you up on that. I'll find you on LinkedIn. We're gonna, you know, give you a whole new start of career on LinkedIn as well.
So do I have to get a little kind of icon down the side of my computer with LinkedIn? I don't know how. I've used LinkedIn for a long time, but you'll have to tell me privately. Let's do it on a DM.
Let's do it on the DM, on the down. It should be. I think it should be called DL, the down low. Let's do it on the down low on the side. Fantastic. I think I'd really just love your sense of fun, and I thank you for, you know, bringing that out to everybody's attention again. I think it's really important. You know, between I was in a signed band when I was 21. I've worked with some amazing musicians. A mate of mine that was in my first ever band is now a world-class musician. He was Amy Winehouse's drummer. He's you would have seen him at the Queen's last Jubilee, because he was the one conducting the orchestra. But I never put myself up on the same pedestal as that, because I just don't have the same musical talent. However, I totally appreciate what you were saying, and I totally appreciate people like you, because you know, it is about opportunities. I started this in the middle of the pandemic because I could, and I had the opportunity to do it. And you've got to just grasp the nettle and go with these things, because ultimately, success in a way can't be measured just by money or status or any of those things. It's to do with what goes on in here. Yeah.
Success is a very strange thing. I had a big chat about this the other day. Really, success is a very strange thing. Again, someone at the top shouldn't be saying success is all money, because it's not. You know, you've got to think. Well, you know, you can get. I've always got this thing where you can get. You know, the number one bus is going past down here. You know, any day, I can get run over by that number one bus. You know. So I've got a song called "Would You Like to Be Buried or Cremated?" You know, get ready for this moment. You know, for this. You know, you've got it. It's got to be now. You know, it's no good planning for retirement. I hate all this. So many people of my mum's age, they got ready for retirement, and then they got crushed over by the number one bus. You know, in one way or another, and it's hopeless. It's now. You know, and the trouble is, it's at the end of the day, it's how can you do your creativity and how can you have a roof over your head, and that is really the biggest. I would say
That's the balance, isn't it?
That is, it's only that, because if we all had a roof over our head and we all lived like certain Hollywood star, you know, creativity would be so easy, because it would just be the inspiration, it would just be the fun, but it's not. It's all the politics, and it's all the how am I earth gonna afford to feed myself on a stream of 0.00007 pence.
Yeah.
If I get 17,500 streams, which for me is a lot of people listening to my song, that's a lot. I don't care if anyone says, "Oh, Beyonce gets 7 million or something." I don't care. For me, 17.5, that is so successful. It's so successful for a month. And
but as I say all the time on this program, folks, if you enjoy the creativity that others are putting out there, don't just stream it, right? If we're talking about music, don't just stream it. Buy people's albums, buy people's t-shirts, go to see them live, and just send them money. Just buy them a drink, you know.
It says, buy me a coffee on my website.
Yeah, buy them a coffee.
Just for wearing a jumper.
Or if you see Lorraine out in Bath or wherever she is, just go up to her and say, "Lorraine, I'll take you in the charity shop. I'll buy you any jumper you like in that charity shop." Yeah, because do you know what? Little things like that just make people's day. It's really honestly true. Absolutely. Lorraine, you've been an absolute pleasure to talk to today.
Thank you. And if you're a person of power, please spread the love a bit and just say, right, today, you know, if you're a managing director of a company, say, right, today we're all going to say something to someone else that's going to change their pattern of ways and make them feel a better person today. Make us smile, for goodness sake. Oh.
After today's interview, I am going to continue to chat to Lorraine. I'm going to try and organise a commercial opportunity for Lorraine to spread a little happiness at the same time as educate people by trying to get her involved in the roadshow that I talked about, where she can go and do her little song about desk size and educate some people and actually draw a crowd at the same time. I think that would be great.
Watch out for desk exercise is a copyrighted word, so I couldn't use that. I had to use desk exercise.
Desk exercise. We're going to get desk exercise. This one here. Look at it here. We're going to get desk exercise around the country. We're going to get this happening. And Lorraine, I do invite you as well. Please do send a little something to go on the board. Here's some of the people that have recently been on, like Skinny Lister. Wonderful Skinny Lister there. We've got the wonderful Lucy May over here. So anything you can send to go on the board. Yeah, send a postcard to go on the board.
I'll put it on my list.
On your list. And also, because you've been on today, everybody that comes on, we add a song of yours to the My Music podcast playlist, which now stands at a whopping 17 hours long. right? Because I've had that many people on the show. But it's doing fabulously well as a playlist. So lots of people enjoying it, liking it out there, which is great. And it's probably the most eclectic playlist that you will find on Spotify. So which song of yours, I now have to write something. Which song of yours would you like to go on that playlist so I can add it straight after today?
Oh, let's put my Crumble song on, for goodness sake. That's what everyone seems to like that on. Puts the let's do some crazy version. What I do with my Crumble song is because it's such a joke that everyone likes my Crumble song so much. I just keep doing different versions of it. So I got tutti quanti sanno cucinare. I got one in Italian. I got mi nata sucuro sushi. I got one in Japanese. I've got Christmas Crumble song. I've got the reggaeton Crumble song. Why not put the reggaeton Crumble song on?
The reggae Crumble song. Right.
Reggaeton. It is reggaeton.
Oh my goodness. I love that. That's going on. Lorraine, you've been brilliant. Look out next year for the pie song to go with the Crumble song, or maybe an apple strudel. Who knows? Lorraine will keep it coming forever and a day because she is a creative kind of person. We thank you for your creativity and we thank you for coming on today. Please, folks,
get it out.
Do support Lorraine. If you haven't ever listened to Lorraine's music, do it now. Do share this with your friends, your family, your dogs, even if they do interrupt the flow sometimes. And if you haven't enjoyed today's show, then I do feel sorry for you. It's just one of those things. You just need to get.
They will love it. And
you just need to get a life.
I got a really nice song called "If I Had a Wish, It Would Be Fun to Be a Fish." Now, we're not always feeling inspirational all the time, so sometimes it's nice to be reflective. And that song, "If I Had a Wish, It Would Be Fun to Be a Fish." It's a nice little song for getting you through the day.
Just getting you through the day when nothing else is happening.
Yeah.
Lorraine, absolute pleasure having you here today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
That's a great song. Thank you for having me. I came today just to see you and me on the screen. And there we go. Thanks. See, it rubs off, doesn't it? It absolutely rubs off. We will be back.
Put it on the list.
Tomorrow, I'll be back with an emo band called Greywind. That will be interesting to see. She's got an amazing pair of pipes. Let's screamo together tomorrow. Until then, thanks for joining us. If you enjoy this, do share it with your friends and family. Bye for now.